DebV. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing machine embroidery, and I'm going to be doing my turkey design on the corner of a piece of cloth that's going to be a napkin. So in probably the next video, what I plan to do is show you how I sew up the edges. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do a rolled hem on the sewing machine, which I like a little better, but it frays easier, I think. Or a rolled hem on my serger. But I could do it in white. I do have plenty of white. I may do that. Anyhow, yeah, I know. I have a cluttered mess. I've been just crafting away. I've got so many things to get done before Christmas. So I tried to zero in so you won't see quite as much clutter, but I have a 10 by 10 room and I have overpopulated it. I've mentioned this before over the last few years. We keep rearranging it, trying to make it all work. The room's not growing, damn it. Anyhow, but so I've been making my hats to donate. I've got all of them. I have damaged tendons. Oh, you have 3 tendons in your shoulder. I did not know this until I damaged all 3. And I did do it at work, at a place I used to work many moons ago. And of course they said it was because of age. And I think I was 45 at the time. Whatever. Doctor said, you know, it's company doctor. So he said, no, it's because she's getting old. And that was that. So when I'm doing the knitting, I can't do hand knitting too well anymore. I'm sorry. I keep shaking it. I'm sure that was irritating. Because arthritis in my thumbs, which, you know, the knitting helps to make it move, but I can't get them done very fast. So I wanted to get a lot of hats done in a hurry. I had 100 of them, but I have a niece that works, she works in the community, we'll just say, and I told her to take whatever she wanted so that she could pass them out to the people that she works with. We'll just, it's a form of they're underprivileged, okay? I don't know the correct way of stating these things anymore, so it's hard to spit it out. Anyways, she said, hey, she could use them all. Great. So all those went, and I went, wait a minute, I wanted to take some to outreach. So I was pumping out hats for outreach. But some of the yarns, they just don't want to weight themselves down. And I have figured out different ways, which there are some shorts I showed where I had, you know, created weights with fishing weights and hooked them to these little combs you can buy. But I have all these little BBs that I used to put into, and I don't even remember what I bought them for, but nowadays I put them in the bottom of my nail polish bottles to get that last little bit to rise up if I want to use it. But I found this little pump bottle that I had ordered and never used. And it was the perfect size around for my small Addie, and I was making infant hats. No, I was making headband. So I filled it halfway with some BBs and used that as a weight. Once it gets down long enough to be able to clamp them together, I have tons of these things that I purchased, and we use them for chip bags. I use them back here to hold patterns up, and I hang them on hooks. I used to use them on my embroidery machine, you know, on the sides of the hoops. Now I use them underneath. Once the knitting is long enough, I clip it, and then I can set this in there. Wait. For the bigger one, I, believe it or not, I will sit there and eat peanut butter from the jar. I just love it. It's the all natural Jif. And it was sitting there about as round as this, and I sat that down in the middle of the bigger one for the hats that I was making. I was going to film it, never did, and it got to my shoulder. It got to my wrists, and I ended up with my braces on. This hurt so bad that just turning the wallets that I'm making for someone made it ache this morning. I went, okay, we're done with that sewing. We're going to go to machine embroidery. And I thought, that is really easy to film. The last bag that I was going to film, I got myself discombobulated, and I had the directions right in front of me, and still, for some reason, when I turned on that camera, I sewed something before I should have, in the whole bag. It was like, yeah, I'm done. So I haven't tried to film anything that I was sewing since, because I needed it to come out. When I make my pajama bottoms, I can film that, I guess. I'm kind of trying to do a little more talking, mostly because, I live with 3 men and I have nobody to talk to. And since I was going to put myself on camera, I even took the curling iron to my hair and used the last of my hairspray. I mean, that's been down in that cabinet for like 6 years. I just haven't bothered to do anything. After I hurt my back, I then lost my teeth. Well, I shouldn't say I lost my teeth. I kept getting abscesses on my eye teeth, and I just couldn't handle the pain. And I knew I was going to end up having to stop working, and I would lose my great health insurance. And it covered that stuff. So I had them pull my teeth out on my uppers. Because of the way the bone structure is inside of my mouth, I can't get lowers without major surgery. So, okay. Those don't bother me so much, really. So that's cool. But they never quite fit properly. It was during the pandemic, and it took months before the teeth came in, which wasn't a big deal. When you went out, you had a mask on, right? But my jaw shifted, and so the teeth were never comfortable anyways. And then I dropped them on the tile in the bathroom. It's the tile floor, and my hands aren't that good, and I dropped them and broke part of them, so they fall a lot, and that's why I look funny when I'm talking. And that's why I don't like to show my face. But I need to get over that. Most people turn on my video and turn it back off after just a minute. I think it's the sound of my voice. Because, to be honest, I don't like the sound of my voice. But I convinced myself that this was not a big deal. You gotta start getting out there again. I used to be an outgoing person, and I'm going to tell you, if you don't have to get your teeth pulled, don't get them pulled if you can't afford the temporaries, or that's what happened with me. I couldn't afford to get the temporaries. I went, what? 6 months without teeth, and so now it's 2 years later, and I tried gluing them in. Everybody says, oh, just glue them. Yeah, I've tried that, and I've tried every kind of stuff that's out there. If I get them to stay, I start choking. This doesn't make sense. They're locked in place, but then I'll start gagging and choking, and I have to try to get them out, and now I've got so much glue on them, they're cemented. So I live my life my way, and you don't see my face a whole lot. But today, I fixed my hair, stuck my teeth in, said, we're going to try it. If I hate it when I'm doing editing, I'll change it. Before we go on, I set the remote down before I turn it off by accident. So this is what I've been working on. And when I went to the eye doctor, I finally broke down and went and got my eyes checked. I thought, wow, everything, there's always this spot right about here in my vision. I mean, I can see through it. It's like you're looking through a fog or something in that one spot. And I decided I better go get it checked. What's going on? My husband told me it might be glaucoma and all this. No, it's just a spot. It's a bubble. She said, and it happens a lot of the time with people as they get older. There's no cure for it. There's no removing it. It is actually inside of my eyeball. And for the most part, I don't even notice it. But then when my allergies are really kicking in, my eyes are bothering me more than anyways. So it just drives me nuts then. And of course, you know, going into fall is hard on my system. And it's been below freezing at night lately, so not so bad. Anyways, when I was at the eye doctor's, two of the women working the desk really liked my wallet. I said, well, thank you, I made it. Oh, I would love to have one. This is just the way I am. I said, what kind of fabric do you like to the one, or what do you like to the one woman? She said hearts. And the other woman, instead of saying, what do you like? I said, what colors do you like? What are your favorite colors? She said, pink and black. Where did I set it? Just a moment. I gotta let my cat out. The other woman said she liked, her favorite colors are pink and black. And she really loves them together. You know, I have some Minnie Mouse fabric. I had done a quilt up for my grandniece, great niece, whatever you call them. My niece's daughter. And turns out she's not that into Minnie. I mean, she loves the pink. But the Minnie is, so she tends to use my quilt upside down because the back is all pink. I went, well, yeah, to each his own. Okay, I told her if you should just pick out fabrics and I'll make you another one. And now I need to get rid of all that Minnie Mouse because I had anticipated making her bags and everything, and I bought a lot of it. Big mistake. Don't jump the gun. So I made this woman this. Now there's a flaw with this mini fabric, and it's probably just my luck that I've got a batch that. But the black, some of them have run. So like down here in the bottom, and right, just slightly. So I don't think she'll notice it, but I was really bummed. So I put the handmade, and I had ordered some in black. And I decided to put it in this little flower burst, whatever you call it. So this wallet pattern is by Billy 50, and it's a zip around. And my whole thing was I wanted something I could put my phone in. Somewhere's my phone? I just had it. Oh. Okay. So the one that she put out, which I know I've got my wallet around here somewhere. I know, I'm going to make you dizzy. So this is the wallet that I use. And yes, I know my label's all blurry. It was for me. So when it blurred, I just did it too long. That's vinyl. And you got to be careful when you're sublimating vinyl. But I used too hot and it melted the ink and the vinyl just enough for it to kind of blah. And my wallet, it's been well used. But card slots, I put bill slots on both sides and then changed in the middle. And you stick your phone in. And it's a number 5 zipper on the inside, which it would be better with the number 3. and it's a little bit of a tug. Since I drop things so much, my phone is now in a case. I used to never carry it in a case, and it's hit the floor too many times. Well, not this one, but the previous one. So it's kind of snug getting it in there, but it does fit, and that's her original pattern. But what I did, well, don't call somebody, turn off. I'd say, it's one of those days, but this is my life. This is the way I've always been. I am so sorry. That's why I always drove people nuts. I'm also very scatterbrained. But, so I took the pattern and just did it at 103%. So now there's lots of room. So if somebody has the plus or something, it should still fit, is what I'm thinking. But I don't know. That's an S22. And if it zips up, no problem. And it really doesn't look that much bigger. See? It's just a hair's breadth bigger. Now, I'm not going to say that these things are real easy to turn and all that kind of stuff. And I have an Elna Excellent 720 Pro. I'm looking at it. I have to always look at it to remember what it's called. It's the same as the Janome 6750, 6700? 6700, I think is what it's called. Which is a pretty good machine. They're pretty strong. But when you get to sewing this edge in, you are going through multiple layers. And my fabric, I coat with this heat and bond liquid vinyl, and it turns it into a vinyl, which is great. I mean, I don't put multiple layers. I put one to kind of make it water resistant, so that it'll be a little more dirt resistant, and it'll last a little longer for the people. I had made some to sell, and they didn't sell. So I've been giving them away. And these two women, because the way I talk, well, how much would it be? I said, I'll just give them to you. That might be why I never succeed in selling my stuff. My son said, you need to stop doing that. I said, you need to just sell it for me because I'm going to give it away. But they turn out great, I think. This, I knew I had hard fabric. So I didn't ask her any more questions. I thought, I have that really adorable hard fabric. Turned out when there was the pandemic, and we were making masks and donating them to the hospitals. I did 750 something. I no longer remember, 53, 58. I have it written down someplace. But I used most of the heart, and all I had left was one small piece. It wasn't even big enough for a sleeping mask. But I held on to it. And so I had to turn around. I did take a picture of it and print it out with my sublimation. I mean, it's just an Epson that's been converted before everything, got so expensive. I had bought that. But I had printed it out, and when I ironed it on, the background was kind of like speckly and grayish looking on. It looked awful. So I got this fabric out and I coated it and I framed it. Unfortunately, I do not have a real steady hand at those straight. I should have used white thread. Always match your thread to the background if you have a hard time with those perfect curves and stuff. And this is not completely sewn in place. I haven't done the little doohickey. I was getting ready to do that when I thought, I feel like making a video. I didn't even post one Halloween week. I haven't actually made a video in probably a month and a half because I had done them so far in advance, and I would make them every day. I would make videos and then edit them, and when I didn't feel like sewing, and I had them all uploaded and scheduled. So I was ahead like a month and a half, and then I had two that the projects just, I screwed them up. I'm not going to say that they didn't go well. I screwed them up, threw the stuff away. So what is the matter with my brain? I can't. So, yeah, I just haven't even made a video in a month and a half. So all that talking, we're going to now walk over here. Oh, my screen popped on. And we're going to get set up. So this is the design. I know I have a very tiny screen. I thought if I could save up, I would love to get that Baby Lock Capella. It's the new single needle butt free arm machine they came out with. It does an 8x12, bigger screen, blah, blah, blah. But I don't make this stuff to sell. I'm not making an income off of it, so it's hard to justify it when you're on a limited budget. We'll see. Maybe I'll hit the lottery. Who knows? But anyhow, I've got it. I had marked it. I like putting stuff in the corners when it comes to a napkin because of the way I tend to hold a napkin. I fold it up and use the center of it, not the edges. So I like to put it there. It is almost 3x3. So it's going to be kind of big on this. Probably only use it this year. So I'm not too worried about it, but this is a little guy I had created. So I had retouched him up because the program I had, it crashed and burned, and long story short, I don't have it anymore. But I just do still have PED 10, and I had to kind of redo him. So this is going to be a new stitch out, I guess is the best way to put it. I had made it last year and uploaded it to a Facebook group I was a member of and gave it to them, and now I've retooled it so that hopefully it'll stitch out a little bit better, and I will put a link and upload it to the cloud so that you can have it from there if it stitches out well. So I wrote down my colors. So I've got it all threaded up with my teal. The total time is 14 minutes on this. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it has 10 color changes, which seems like a lot for such a small design, but I wanted to change it up a little. I like my tail feathers multiple colors. I don't know. I guess it's because when we're kids and in school and we do the little handprint one, you tend to use multiple colors of crayons. I don't know. But that's what I did, and if you wanted, you could stitch it out your way. But let's get us going. It's going to do the top, back, tail feather. The second color is going to do the tails, the second tail feather, or the second bunch of feathers, I should say. Do you see what I mean? And of course it stopped because as far as it's concerned, it's another color about to be done.
So this is the fourth take, and it's my final napkin, so it has to be right this time. I went in, I touched it up because I'd gotten the second set right, and the third set I had tweaked a bit and obviously didn't double check it because it had extra jumps. So now that's fixed. I did do a preview on my computer. It should all run perfect. Last take, no matter what, this is the finished product that's going to stitch out now. Let's hope it works. I have such self-confidence, don't I? Did I thread the needle? Yes. See? Self-confidence. Turned out pretty good. Now I just have to do the edges and give it a good washing, and it'll be ready for Thanksgiving. Now if you want, well, you can't even see it. So this is the design all done. I think it turned out pretty good. If you want it, it's a free design for your use. Please don't sell it. I'm giving it to you free. But if you know of anyone that would like to have it, please send them to my video for it. The link will be in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll try to trim this very long video down to a more reasonable length. Mostly I was jabbering at the beginning. Maybe I'll cut most of that out. And I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.